Hey everyone, my name is Jordan Sutton and I'm the author of Take Back What the Devil Has Stolen from You. And this is going to be a voiceover slash podcast. But I just want to come up here to say something that just, came to mind is that if you're waiting for something, regardless of what it may be, and you're working towards whatever you're waiting for or preparing, is it possible that sometimes things could take longer? Is because he wants to make sure that whatever he's going to bless you with, you're going to be able to manage, maintain, and something that you're going to be, and it's something that you're going to be able to keep. See, this here actually comfort me because, again, I was just thinking, and just to be transparent and just to be honest, when you start something like years ago, it could be, and you know what, you can always look at whatever it is that you're currently trying to work towards. Whatever it's school, whether it's a business, whether it's um, whatever it is that God has put in your heart for that you're waiting and that you're working towards, something that you're actually working on, whether it's yourself, whatever type of improvement. Could it also be whatever it is that you are going to receive and that you will have access to that He wants to bless you with? He wants to make sure that you're able to manage it. He wants to make sure that you're able to maintain it. He wants to make sure that you are able to keep it, whatever it is that He wants you to receive. So sometimes it's not going to come quicker. Sometimes it's not going to be as soon. Sometimes it's not going to blow up as fast. Because sometimes, again, as I mentioned in previous videos and also even previous podcasts, that sometimes the more bigger it's going to be, the more pull, the more anointing, sometimes the longer it's going to take. Now, I know people got their opinions on Amazon. Amazon was not an overnight company. Jeff Bezos started that in 1999. Disney, to me, used to be a good company, and I got my opinions on that too as well. But Disney did not happen overnight. Listen, and I'm not just going to use, corporations. You could also use other businesses. It don't even have to be a business. Just think about who you may, whatever field that you may be in, and whoever you may look up to or inspire to do the same thing that they're doing. You got to look at it as it wasn't an overnight process. So that's something that the Lord has dropped into me today when I was just thinking like, man, it's been some years. I'm still not where I want to be at yet. And if anything, if somebody were to examine, you know, these amount of years and you take a look at the results, which I haven't really seen as much, anybody else, and I ain't gonna say anybody else, but most people would actually have gave up, quit, threw in the towel, especially if they didn't see what they wanted to see. Not even just in months, but let's say they stayed with it within a year, within 2 years, 3 years. 3 years might have been that max. You know, anybody else would have probably told you in their situation to give up, go ahead and quit. I mean, is it worth it? You getting back up and keep getting knocked back down. Why are you not being rewarded for your efforts? Why are you not being rewarded for stepping out there on faith? Why are you not being rewarded for your works? But some other people, when you see them on um, whatever it may be, it can just it could just happen. It could just blow up. Now, this ain't for everyone, because there are some people that do work hard for, they do work hard and they do put in time, work, consistency, and so many different things. So again, that's not towards everyone, but I'm talking about people that just blow up overnight. It's just like, what in the world? So basically, you're going to face discouragement. And I can see why some people just go ahead and just give up. But there will never be a good enough reason to give up. It won't. It always will just be an excuse. And I heard that somewhere. I saw that in a quote, and I don't know. I forgot who was the author of the quote. But they was just pretty much, I think the quote was saying, there's never a good reason to give up. Only excuses. And I think I'm paraphrasing it, what it stated, but that is so true. We can't go off of feelings, we can't go off emotions as much as we will want to sometimes. No matter how long it takes, still keep on going. Still keep on going. And there's going to be days and times where you're going to have to coach yourself. And that's something that I'm going to speak on when I become a speaker. For some of the people that's going to attain their dreams and that's going for it, you ain't going to have nobody in your corner. Sometimes you're not going to have anyone in your corner. I'm going to tell them because I wish that more people would have said that. But then again, there's not that many people that really go out. There's not that many people that go out for it and pursue their dreams. So maybe that's why they couldn't really tell that part of the story, or maybe that's why they didn't ever mention it because they themselves never really went out for it. But there will come some days and times where it's going to feel like there's no one else there. It's going to just be up to you to endure and to be strong. And there's nothing wrong with, having your moments and having your time. But when you have all of that, you still got to get back up. You still have to get back up. And that's basically going to be the message with me in 2022 and probably for the years to come. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that as well. And do not be discouraged. Again, you're going to run into all kinds of things. You're going to run into all kinds of things. But you always have the Lord there for support. You always got him there for support. So you got to always keep that in mind. And that has to be enough for you. It has to be enough. Your faith still has to be strong. And then sometimes also something that he mentioned to me as well. With you, when it comes down to you, you may have to choose another way. You may have to choose another route. The route that you've been going, and it hasn't been projecting the results that you want to see. It may be simply because he wants you to take another route. He wants you to go another way. Not nothing negative, of course. Not nothing backwards, of course. But it may be something completely different that's going to work for you. For instance, everyone's telling you social media is the way to go. Social media is it. But what instructions is he giving you? What instructions is he giving you? So if you're creating a book, right? And I know it may sound out there. It may sound out there, excuse me. But he may be telling you, hey, you've been trying to do the self-publishing way this whole entire time. You've been trying to do things by yourself the whole entire time. You may have to actually collab. You may actually, and I don't care how challenging it may seem or appear and be and what other people say, but you may actually have to find you a publisher. Same way if you are taking classes, going to school, trying to figure out and it feels like it's too hard to keep pursuing on with the semester, maybe with some challenges that you're facing. All it takes is just maybe one switch. It just takes one switch. So maybe instead of day classes, you can do night classes. Instead of going to class physically, and I know COVID-19 and stuff is, out, you can actually do it online. What you will have to find what works for you. What's working for everybody may not work for you. So there's some things that you may actually have to switch. There may be some things that you may actually have to try in order to find that out, or what works for you. You may have to try some different things to find out what works for you. But the route that you're currently going, and maybe the reason why also you haven't seen the results that you wanted to see, is because you're trying to do it through somebody else's blueprint. You're trying to do it the way that everyone else is telling you. And you feel like, hey, if it's working for the 70%, then maybe it's going to work for me. But God gives us different directions and different instructions. And you have to find out what that may be. So I just want to come up here and say still be encouraged, because again, you're going to be slapped with all kinds of different things. For instance, and now she's not the only one, but I was looking at this YouTuber that I used to be subscribed to like long time ago. And I was watching it before she got married. She has a husband, and the husband basically was caught in infidelity, and some side woman basically made a whole channel about how she was talking, how she was messing with her husband and showed text messages and what I'm saying, all this craziness, right? And so the lady started the channel only 4 days, and then boom, 4 days later she monetized. Now that could be a slap in the face again to the person that's been working for years, been trying to put their best foot forward and not see any of those results. But let me tell you something, and I'm not judging that lady at all, but realize also, and something that's not mentioned as much, do not be jealous of Satan's blessings. I'm not going to say blessings. I don't think he blesses anyone, but his work. There we go. Perfect terminology. Do not be jealous of Satan's work. Okay, because that's simply what it that's simply what it was. Satan's work. Okay. Now hopefully the lady gets herself right and everything else. But I'm just saying, you don't want to do something that's going to cost you a piece of your soul, because you're going to pay for it down the road. Now, while that lady is laughing and smirking and talking about she did this, she did that with her, and hey, it wasn't on me. He's not responsible. I don't have to answer to her, the wife. He has to answer. You know what I'm saying? All this kind of stuff. It was just kind of like, well, God still don't like ugly. And you still got to be accountable. But here's the thing. Stuff like that comes with a cost, comes with a price. And I'm not just talking about this situation. It could be something else. So think about it. Whatever field, whatever area, whatever it is that you want to do, that you want to pursue, that you have a desire for of doing, you're going to see someone in where the path that they took, it was backwards. And that backwards path is going to blow up. That backwards path is going to escalate. It's going to escalate. And it's going to happen quick. But you don't want it like that. You have heard probably that all money isn't good money. So you don't want to do something in where it compromises your values, your standards, your honor, your integrity, your respect, so many different things. And I know people, we living in the last days, so some people, just pretty much checked off of that, and they're willing to sell. They're willing to sell those things. But it does come with a price. It does. And while you remember, and for those who can remember this, it's only pleasure. What did it say? Sin has a, oh my goodness, y'all. I need to get back and word myself. You see me up here trying to figure out and scramble what the word said. Sin is only pleasurable for a season. There we go. Sin is only pleasurable for a season. There's going to come a time where it ain't going to be all fun and games. It's going to come a time where it's going to take much more than what you thought it was going to take out of you at the end. So anyways, I just want to say, all money ain't good money. And whatever you're doing, you're going to see somebody that's going to take a backwards path and a backwards route. And it's going to look like they're winning. It's going to look like they're soaring. And it's going to look like things for them are just going up and away. But I want to just tell you, despite that you may see that, and despite how discouraging that may be, I want you to still keep doing you. And when God bless you, it ain't going to come with a piece of your soul. When God blesses you, you'll be able to keep it. You'll be able to maintain it. You don't have to look behind your back. You don't have to look behind your shoulders. See, that woman was sitting up there talking about another woman's husband, and she may not live in the same state, but somebody could be looking at her and say, hey, I saw her up there at the Walmart. Hey, I saw her up there at the Family Dollar, or wherever she may shop at, and recognize her. And you know what I'm saying? It might be some problems. She may have to look over her back, showing the face and everything. And Lord forbid, I pray for safety. But people got to be also mindful of what they also put out, because again, you just don't know. So I just want to go on to say, you're going to see people, again, I know I said that 1,000 times, that's going to take a backwards path, whether they cheated, whether they slept with someone for it, whether it was something corrupt they were doing, but they blew up quick, they blew up fast, and it made you feel like doing the right thing and working hard and working smart. It just made you feel like, well, what's the point in me doing all of this? It's just like I used to hear, even when it comes down to college students, they'll look at these Instagram models. So you got to be careful what you also entertain as well. Be careful what you're watching, because they were seeing so many of these Instagram models the same age they were, and they were going on trips, up there on boats, up there with money, up there just looked like they were just living a lavish lifestyle while they were in school, while they were busting their butt, and it felt like they were in debt. They were in debt, and it felt like they just couldn't catch a break. And they started to get discouraged and say, well, why don't I do the same thing that they're doing? Because it seems easier. I'm booked up with all this debt, and I'm busting my butt to work hard. Meanwhile, they're rewarded for wickedness. You know what I'm saying? But in the long run, you cannot see. And if this is a situation that you're going through, stay in there. Stay in school. Still keep on going. Still keep on going, because that lifestyle is going to catch up with you. That's the part no one is mentioning. That's the part that no one posts on the social media page. Yeah, they're going to show you this lavish lifestyle, but guess what they're putting up with to deal with it? That man, most of the time that they're with, is not theirs. Most likely he's dealing with multiple women. So they're not the only one. They basically got to sell a piece of their souls and who they are in order to attain that so-called lifestyle that you see on social media. You don't see, most of the time, some of them are going through domestic violence, but that part is not going to be posted on Instagram. It's not going to be posted on Facebook. You're going to see the part in the pieces that they want you to see. The man could be talking to them like a dog, belittling them, verbal abuse, all kinds of things. That's not the part they post on social media. So be careful, because realize and know that the devil can come up with any type of illusion, and that it's not worth it, and it's definitely not worth your soul. So anyways, my name is Jordan Sutton. I am the author of Take Back What the Devil Has Stolen From You, and I come here to encourage you today to still keep on going, to still keep on. And if you have to reroute some things, figure that out what it is, and God's going to reveal it to you. Draw closer to Him. We are living in these last days, and I want you to always have the armor of God on wherever you go, so you can stay protected and have the blood of the Lamb cover upon your doorposts. And pray for those as well. Pray for others as well. So that's what I have to say. Click on the links below. And until next time, it's just something that dropped into me. And just to do a quick recap, please know that sometimes if things are taking longer than what you want them to take, He wants to make sure you're ready. He wants to make sure you're prepared. He wants to make sure that whatever it is that he's going to bless you with, that you're able to keep and manage and maintain. Because if it came much sooner, you could have lost it. If it came much quicker, you wouldn't have been able to be a good steward over it. Meanwhile, while things are happening, escalating to those that doing things maybe backwards, hopefully God can show, again, hopefully they can open up their eyes and change and repent. But do not be caught up in fast money. Don't be so caught up, because I know how it can look like. I know how it appears and how it seems. I know how convenient it may look, but it's not the route that you want to take. So again, let me go ahead and get ready to leave. And don't forget, try some different things. Reroute some things. It may take a little while for you to figure out what works for you, but he will reveal that answer to you. All right. So again, my name is Jordan Sutton. I'm going for real this time, y'all. Take back what the devil has stolen from you, and remember that the best is yet to come. Until next time.